book of John, which is in the New Testament of your Bible. So that's the second part of our Bible. And the book of John is way back here. There's only this much of the Bible left. So this is the beginning part, and then the book of John is way back there. And in this story, a long time ago, there were some important people, and they were the high priests, and they did not like Jesus going around and telling people that he was the Son of God, and that people were calling him the King of Jews. They did not like that, and they thought Jesus was lying and not telling the truth. And the really big word for that was the word blasphemy, and that just pretty much meant saying bad things about God or showing disrespect to God, which was a really big deal back in those days in that part of the country. So because of that, because they thought that Jesus was not telling the truth, he was arrested and he was put on trial, and he had to go to court. And they took Jesus to a man whose name was Pontius Pilate. So here's Pontius Pilate. And Pilate was like a governor, and he could give punishments to people who broke the law. And in Jesus's case, Pilate was the one who actually gave the order to have Jesus crucified or put to death. So we have also Jesus here. We have Pilate and Jesus here to help us tell our story today. So this is the part of the story where they actually, when they went to court and they were questioning Jesus. So it might have went something like this. Pilate said to Jesus, "Are you the King of Jews?"
Jesus answered, "Are you saying this on your own, or did others tell you this about me?"
Pilate said, "Do I look like a Jew? Your people and your priests have turned you over to me. What did you do?"
Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not of this world. It does not consist of what you see around you. If it did, my followers would be fighting to keep me from being brought here. But I'm not that kind of king, not the world's kind of king."
Pilate, he must have been confused because he asked the question again. "So are you a king or not?"
Jesus answered, "You say I am a king. For this I was born, and for this I came into the world, so that I could witness to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth recognizes and listens to my voice."
So that might have been what it was like when they were asking Jesus, "Are you the king? What's going on here?" And Pilate was questioning Jesus. And Jesus answered, he said, "I'm a different kind of king." He wasn't a king like we think of with a fancy gown and a shiny crown on his head who lived in a big castle. Jesus was the kind of king who cared more about our hearts and our spiritual lives. And he wanted to share God's words with us. And even though it was hard for him to speak the truth when he was being questioned, he still told the truth. And he even knew he was going to be put to death someday, but he still spoke those words that were so hard to speak and spoke the truth. So just remember that Jesus is he's our king. He's a different kind of king from those ordinary kings that we think of. He has a heavenly kingdom that's just waiting for us, filled with grace, truth, and love. And he's my king and your king, and he's here to save us.